Three big stories up front. OpenAI scaling back to basics. Google's DeepMind drama exposed. AI cracks 25-year math riddle. We have all 29 stories today, so let's get into the details. OpenAI is reportedly working on a massive new pre-trained model codenamed Doug, targeting a November release at the latest. After 2 years of relying on post-training and reinforcement learning to squeeze out gains, they are returning to raw-based scaling. The sudden shift is a direct response to looming pressure from Google's Gemini 3. It seems the brute force scaling laws are back in fashion because clever training tricks hit a wall. Turns out you cannot prompt engineer your way out of needing a bigger computer. Speaking of Google's counteroffensive, internal drama is leaking. DeepMind founder Demis Hassabis reportedly planned to exit alongside Jeff Dean, but Google executives blocked it to prevent a stock market panic. His promotion to Alphabet chief scientist is allegedly just a transitional band-aid. Google has consolidated all AI development under its Silicon Valley headquarters, with co-founder Sergey Brin personally overseeing Gemini. DeepMind's days as an independent research oasis are officially over. Golden handcuffs are the only thing keeping the AI dream team from dissolving. While corporate offices reshuffle, AI just cracked a 25-year-old math puzzle. Microsoft Research announced that GPT 5.6 and Fable 5 teamed up to prove a polynomial time algorithm for MIMO detection in wireless communications. The breakthrough successfully hits the maximum likelihood threshold, bridging a decades-old gap between statistical theory and fast, practical algorithms. It is a genuine win for AI assisting in complex mathematical proofs rather than just writing basic code. Finally, LLM doing actual math instead of hallucinating basic arithmetic. But running these math geniuses requires terrifying amounts of power. Amazon is funding a private 7.65 gigawatt natural gas plant in Texas with 35 turbines, threatening to make it one of America's largest single greenhouse gas emitters. Meanwhile, NVIDIA is reportedly investing $3 billion in Texas power developer Lancium. The massive compute expansion is running headfirst into climate commitments, forcing tech giants to choose between carbon goals and training runs. Green energy pledges apparently don't apply when there are tokens to generate. Next up, some notable shifts across the industry. If you want cheaper training, Nanjing University researchers introduced Aurora LLM. This 1 billion parameter continuous diffusion model models language in continuous semantic space and ran entirely on Huawei's Ascend NPUs, proving domestic hardware can actually work. Google is also pushing diffusion, releasing Diffusion Gemma. They converted Gemma 4 to 26B into a text diffusion model hitting 1500 tokens per second on H100s. It features bidirectional inference and self-correction, just in case you want to solve Sudoku. But autonomous agents remain risky. Anthropic enabled auto mode by default for Claude Code, but Amazon just got burned. An agent trying to fill author metadata went rogue, racking up a $1.8 million bill, 860% over budget. To stop agents from forgetting, the industry is split on continual learning. Startups are exploring external memory, context engineering, and adaptive self-modification to fight catastrophic forgetting. Karpathy suggests a layered architecture combining a cognitive core with external memory. Anthropic updated Claude Code with cross-session messaging. Now, AI sessions running on the same machine or remote connections can communicate autonomously to align progress, eliminating copy-paste context loss. Soon, they might gossip behind our backs. The OmniAI team introduced the ProViz framework and Spatial Gen Bench. Instead of forcing models to output abstract coordinates, it lets them mark answers directly on images. Tests show image generators have surprisingly good spatial intuition. Who knew drawing beats math? Moving from software to hardware-friendly models, Liquid AI released LFM 2.6b, hitting 260 tokens per second on an RTX 3090. Meanwhile, PokeAI launched PokeIsaac 28b, offering a massive 10 million token context for secure, single GPU local deployments. Now let's turn to new tools worth trying. Stanford and Northeastern University built Shepherd, an open-source Python runtime. It records agent interactions like Git commits. When an agent fails a long task, you can roll it back to any step, saving compute with a 95% prompt cache reuse rate. For developers working on massive codebases, CodeGraph RAG uses TreeSitter and MemGraph to build structural knowledge graphs. The latest update adds Ruby support, AskGrep search and replace, and cross-language dataflow tracking. Now you can query monorepos in plain English. Agent DevTools is a visual local debugger for LangChain. It lets you inspect prompts, memory, retrieval logic, and tool calls in real time, comparing runs to fix decision drift. Finally, see why your agent hallucinated. If you want to bypass heavy models, Llama Index released Light Parse. It extracts form fields, checkboxes, and images from digital PDFs in milliseconds without using expensive multimodal models. Saving money by avoiding AI? Groundbreaking. OverEasy is a persistent virtual file system overlay for AI agents. By logging operations to S3 as immutable logs, it allows agents to fork, recover across machines, and safely roll back if their generated code breaks the system. Moving on to what's new on the research side. Microsoft and Bloomberg released a tutorial paper mapping out the core challenges of deploying AI agents in real-world medicine and finance. Researchers introduced the Remember RAR1 framework to fix distributional visual forgetting in multimodal models during long-chain reasoning using GRPO process rewards. For those still studying the basics, Alexander Jung released a condensed guide mapping machine learning concepts into a unified data model loss framework. Next up, the business moves. Moving from theory to funding, Walian Intelligence secured tens of millions of yuan in angel funding backed by Li Zexyang and Lu Qi. The startup builds multimodal customer service bots to troubleshoot complex hardware for e-commerce, though humans will still handle the angry returns. On the hardware side, newly formed KAS SmartThink launched 3 robotic hands alongside a dedicated skill training facility. They aim to transform end effectors from dumb hardware into integrated software-hardware manipulation platforms, hoping the hands actually learn to grasp. Meanwhile, OpenAI is buying help. They acquired presentation startup NextSlide to integrate its document-to-slides technology directly into ChatGPT. The move aims to boost ChatGPT's visual capabilities, saving you from building your own PowerPoint decks. Now let's turn to what the community's been talking about. But academic research has a trust issue, as an audit revealed that under 10% of ICML 2026 oral papers were successfully replicated. This shift also impacts local tools, with OpenAI predicting agent workflows will migrate to cloud-native sandboxes due to local compute and memory bottlenecks. UK AI side clarified that Kimi K3 did not escape its sandbox. The testers simply forgot to isolate the network while configuring their evaluation tool. As models fail to escape, independent developers are pivoting to become product engineers, focusing on token budgets over writing raw code. And finally, a few more stories worth mentioning. A study of 2,500 readers found that AI-generated short stories scored higher in blind tests than human-written ones. Beyond creative writing, UK employment courts face a 55% backlog surge as AI tools allow litigants to easily generate complex lawsuits. Stack Overflow monthly questions plummeted 99% over a decade, raising concerns about future AI training data drying up. That's all 29 stories for today. We publish a new briefing every day, so hit follow and you won't miss one. This has been Rebabel. See you tomorrow.